I'm not even being dramatic. If I had $1 million, I would bail them out. What's up, you guys? Welcome to today's video. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to be allowed to title this video. YouTube has very strict censorship rules. We are going to be talking about alleged assault. If you guys are new here, hi, my name is Jess. I am a prison content creator that has in fact gone to prison, and I've seen crimes like this so many times. If you want to follow me on any other social media platform, all of that is linked down below, as well as my vlog channel and my podcast. But I have a lot to say, so let's just kick this thing off today. So what I would like to do first is just to show like a 2-minute clip so that we have all of the facts of the case before I start rattling off my opinion and everything that I think should have been done here, based on my experience both in and out of prison. But for this case specifically, I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page and we know what's going on.
On Thursday evening at an RV park at 1201 East Moore, a female minor made an outcry to her mom about being appropriately judged by her father, Gabriel Quintanilla, which is the deceased in this case. When brothers Alejandro and Christian Trevino found out, they confronted Gabriel at the residence, and a physical fight ensued between the three, and the victim, Quintanilla, left the location on foot. Information and everything that I'm bringing to you right now is what has been learned through detectives, through the work that has been done up to this point. Christian Trevino, he does run out. He runs after the victim, Quintanilla, and finds him outside of an apartment complex, which is further south down the road there, in FAR. We have a complex that's just south of where this residence is at. A second assault occurs there, and Alejandro Trevino and the driver of a red Dodge Charger, who we've identified as Juan Eduardo Melendez, catch up to him and again join in an assault towards the victim at that point. The three suspects leave the location, change vehicles, drive back in a white Ford F-150, and found the victim walking along what we believe is Veterans Road, alone and injured from his 2 previous injuries that had occurred. A third assault occurs, and the victim is at that point severely beaten more. The victim, who is still alive, is placed in the bed of the truck. They drive off and they end up in an area of McCall and Wayland Road, where the victim was dropped off in the open field, and that's where my camp police originally found the body at. The suspects fled at that time. So investigation revealed that the victim was hurt, beaten with brass knuckles, and suffered severe head trauma at that point. Although the victim was severely beaten, the victim may still have been alive when he was there. I'll read the charges that these three individuals will be being presented with here in a moment. Alejandro Trevino, aggravated assault and engaged in organized criminal activity. Christian Trevino, aggravated assault, capital murder, engaging in organized criminal activity. And then we got a third individual, Juan Eduardo Melendez, capital murder, aggravated assault, and engaging in organized criminal activity.
Let me first start off by saying this person should have already been in custody because he had a warrant for his arrest for abusing another child. This person should not have been out. Unfortunately, I don't think crimes of this nature are taken as seriously as they need to be in our country. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I have seen someone get arrested for a crime like this and get probation, have outstanding warrants for it, do a year. I personally do not believe that if you have crimes against children, you have alleged crimes against children, you should not be free. You should be in jail. You should be. This person should not have been anywhere near a child. When the first accusation came out, that should have been it. He should have been in custody. I say almost all the time on social media that murder is not the worst charge that you can have. It's crimes like this. This is the worst thing that you can do to someone. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy to some people. Murder can be explained, and it's typically like an adult kills another adult for many, many, many reasons. crimes of passion. I've met women that are in prison for killing their abusers or killing their rapists. I have met so many scenarios. Drug deal gone bad, vehicular manslaughter, accidents. That can be explained. Crimes like this against children cannot be explained. And the way that our court system is, it so often just gives people a pass. And it so often just does not do anything for the victims. And it's a horrifying reality for so many. I've also heard on several occasions where abuse was happening in the home and that was being ignored by the other person in this relationship. And this adult was harming the children in this home, but the other partner in this relationship and in this household was ignoring it for whatever reason. I mean, I can't tell you all of the stories that I've heard, traveling the country and meeting tons of people and getting, arrested in different states. I've met so many different people that have told me so many horrifying stories. The brothers had found out what their little sister said, who was 9 years old, okay? 9 years old. This stepfather is 42 years old. It is so difficult for me to wrap my head around that. Anyway, the brothers confront the stepfather, and this is where things get really dicey. So apparently the stepfather had ran out of the apartment building and the brothers had followed and beaten him several times. He kept trying to get away and they kept attacking him, and they at one point put him in a truck and then beat him to death and then kind of ditched his body somewhere. That is a violent act. It's a violent crime. But I just for a minute want you guys to think about the trauma that has happened. There is so much trauma that has gone on here. Imagine these kids, because that's what they are kids, 17 and 18 years old, they're babies, they're freaking kids. They hear that their little baby sister, 9 years old, was inappropriately touched by this man, and all they want to do is defend her. All they want to do is make sure that doesn't happen again. And I can't even imagine what was going on in their head. Learning about abuse like this and learning that it has happened to someone that you love and care for is a traumatic event all in itself. Not to mention the trauma that this little girl was facing, right? So there's so much trauma to unpack here, but these boys wanted to protect her and they were fucking pissed, as most people would be. I mean, it is a normal human response. When you hear about an abuse like this happening, it's a normal human response to want to defend your loved one, to want to fight back, to want to freaking kill this person. These are normal responses. They had every right in the world to be this freaking angry. I know that it was wrong for them to kill this man. I do. But I'm a mother of a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old. And if someone hurt them, I think most parents will agree that you will do anything to protect your child. It's just an instinct, So this is a normal human emotion. So now these boys have $1 million bail. So I just want you to process and think about that just for a second. The judge in this jurisdiction is saying, you are not going to get out. We're not going to let you out. That's essentially what $1 million bond says. It says that you are so dangerous, you are such a threat to the community that I'm not going to let you out, because who's going to come up with $1 million to let you out? That's essentially what that says. I just wish that child predators were treated the same way. I would really like to know the details of the case as to why this man had a warrant and he was just chilling. Why did he have a warrant for allegedly hurting another child while he at the same time was living with children? Why was that allowed? Why did no one arrest this man? Like, what the fuck? Why? So from what that video says, it says that these brothers, these kids, went after this man on 3 separate occasions, and a lot of the details are unclear as this is still coming out, but I wonder if when they left him that last time, I wonder if they knew he was still alive. Did they think he was still alive? How long after he had been there did he pass away? So these are all really interesting, questions that I don't think we know just yet. But being charged with capital murder, that is a very, very serious charge. It is just my assumption that the 17-year-old will be charged as an adult. That happens all the time, especially in cases like this that are, they took a life. From my experience, and every state is different, every case is different. I can't tell you how much time they're going to get or what their sentence is going to look like, but in my experience, usually they charge you with the most severe thing that they can, and then charges are often reduced over time, and after the investigation comes out, they might be kind of pushed into signing plea agreements, but I want to put the definition of capital murder on the screen. These are the scenarios that you will be charged with capital murder in the state of Texas. The person murders a peace officer or fireman who is acting in official duty. The person intentionally commits the murder in the course of committing or attempting kidnap, burglary, robbery, aggravated sexual assault, arson, obstruction, terroristic threat. The person commits or solicits a murder for hire. The person commits the murder while escaping or attempting to escape from a penal institution. The person while incarcerated murders another person. The person murders more than one person. The person murders a person aged 10 years old or younger. The person murders another person involved in service with judiciary. So it is my personal belief that capital murder will be reduced to something else. Now, this really freaks me out, but the penalties for murder and capital murder carry a mandatory life in prison sentence, and the minimum age in Texas that a person can receive the death penalty is 17 years of age or older, outlawing abortion because all life matters. Also Texas, killing 17-year-olds, having the death penalty. Make it make sense. Doesn't Texas also have a stand your ground law so you can shoot someone for walking onto your property? Can y'all pick a fucking direction? Now, there are defenses to murder, a crime of passion, lack of intent, lack of knowledge, insanity, intoxication, self-defense. Heat of passion and trauma would be my best guess for what the defense is going to have to make in their case, because they were very upset that this man had hurt their sister. That is a crime of passion. This is not a premeditated thing, I don't believe. And we could spin that different ways. They found out something happened, they confronted this person, and they beat him. And what I think it's going to be very difficult for the defense is that they didn't just beat him up one time and walk away. That would just be aggravated assault. They went after him on 3 separate occasions during that night. So it's gonna be tough to defend them for sure. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but just from my brief research on this case in particular, I have seen in my research that there are 4 different levels to murder in the state of Texas. They are murder, capital murder, manslaughter, and criminally neglect homicide. Now, if I was a lawyer defending them, my best case here, my best case scenario for defending them would be to try to get capital murder reduced to manslaughter. Now, this would be voluntary manslaughter, and I just want to put the definition of that on the screen. Voluntary manslaughter is an intentional, in-the-moment killing of passion that lacks premeditation. Provoked rage or anger can result in voluntary manslaughter, but provocation must be proven, which we can prove here. The resulting penalty is up to 20 years in prison and financial penalties if convicted. So best case scenario, say I'm their lawyer, it would be my job to try to reduce the capital murder charge because that carries life without, it could even carry the death penalty in Texas. So best case scenario for me, if I was their lawyer, it would be to push for a voluntary manslaughter charge instead of the capital murder charge. It's pretty standard to initially be charged with a bunch of things and then have those charges reduced. But man, this case, I'm not saying what they did was right. I know that what they did was wrong, but I'm just horrified that our country again and again and again and again falls short of helping people that are victims of sexual assault. It constantly falls short in keeping dangerous predators off of the street. Maybe end the war on drugs and search for missing kids, or reallocate funds to end human trafficking. I think that would be a much better use of our resources in this country. And yes, I can want prison reform and also want chomos to never see the light of day again. I want prison reform and I want to end the war on drugs and I want treatment for addicts. That does not mean that I want good things for rapists. And because of the way that our laws are and the way that so many child predators get a slap on the wrist or probation or an ankle monitor, because of the way that our laws are set up in this country, inmates take matters into their own hands. And I'm not saying it's morally right, but if our country did better to protect children against rapists, then maybe we wouldn't see shit like this happen all the time. I'm going to be watching this case very carefully. because I am very interested to see if they can get capital murder reduced to something else like manslaughter. I'm also very interested because they're so young. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Be sure you're subscribed because I'm going to be making more videos on this. And let's please keep the comment section as chill as possible. I know this is a very intense video. This is a very, very difficult topic to digest, but let's please keep those comments respectful. I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you guys. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you. If you ever need help with treatment, I'm a partner with Groups Recover, and that is in the description box of every single video. And I will see you guys in the next one.